The tush push is here to stay, and RIP Jim Irsay. Welcome to Analytics Are for the Nerds. Let's go.
Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up.
Once again, gentlemen, I'm sorry about losing your boner. So sorry.
Very clear 101 in this biggest foot in the mouth draft. And the 101 is very clearly Rex Ryan, because that guy has definitely put some feet in the mouth. 100%. Guy loves feet, his white feet.
Big feet.
Lots of feet in
Little
the mouth,
feet.
I'm sure.
So many feet.
I gotta tell you, I am, you know this about me, I've been around for 20 years, you know I'm like 15 years late to a trend, but I'm also like 10 years before the next trend. I could rock out a visor, I think I could rock it every day, and not for a long time, because eventually that trend will spill again, but I think tomorrow I can go out and people are like, he's rocking it, he's doing it right, he's doing it.
Hair and the double mustache and that is fucking gross. So welcome.
I do want to be clear though that I have earned one, and Lou is depressed. There's a big difference. Lou is still trying to convince 16-year-olds he's cool, and they keep telling him they don't want weed from him. They can get it from anywhere.
Hi, everyone. A joke that still makes us laugh, even though we see it every week. So good. Welcome. Happy Tuesday, friends. How are we doing?
It's Wednesday, but I mean, I see how you're doing. I see you're off to a good start.
I'm doing terribly. Louis saw me earlier, and he's like, "Oh, what are you drinking? A beer?" And I was like, "No, almond milk." And how gross does my almond milk look? That it's frothy and yellow. Okay.
It really did look like that. I mean, I have bad eyes, but yeah. All right. Well, we're
say RIP, 65 years young, guys. How are we? Here's one to Indiana.
No, he's older than 65, isn't he?
No,
I know my
65.
girl. Yeah. Go fact check.
I'm not. I can't make jokes. It's too early. But like,
yeah.
we're
we all know he struggled with some. Well, not all personally. We have Google.
I was gonna say, yeah, 65. Man, that's young.
He tweeted today. Like earlier today,
sugar.
Like, even more so. Like that dude died like Scarface. Come on.
I mean,
let's just call a spade a spade.
Ryan, didn't they say before you tell us what his tweet was? Didn't they say that he died in his sleep earlier today?
Peacefully, yes, peacefully in his sleep.
All right, a little lunch nap. Little nooner.
Maybe he had a scheduled tweet.
Or I don't know. Maybe he was sick. I don't know. Maybe he was sick. I don't know. Listen. It could be a lot of things. I don't want to speculate. His tweet was about the Pacers. He was about like go Pacers. Like,
dude,
good luck in the. Yeah.
That's
and
insane.
then just for the record, the Knicks are up 58-54. So Jim Irsay's still not doing much.
Go Knicks, right? Go Knicks.
Go Knicks. The last time the Knicks won, Dark Side of the Moon came out. That is a true fact. 60-54. Wow. Now that we've been talking about it, Irsay's go Knicks. But what is he? Well, do you know what he tweeted or X before his final? Let me see what.
That's what it was. It was. Go Pacers.
Go Pacers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you like it, or you just kept scrolling? Like that's my.
Well, I'm not a Pacers fan.
Yeah. Reggie Miller. I mean, like he was fun in the 90s or 2000s. So Jim Irsay, that was the big thing. So here's our thoughts are with the Colts, and I'm not laughing. And the tush push, the big vote happened. That was I know this is. I think we all are pro tush push on this podcast. The final vote was per sources was 22-10. And at least 24 votes were needed to ban the tush push. So, yeah, it's a good move on an offense who can use it. So it's playing football. And I think everyone who voted, besides those 10 dorks, feel the same way that we all do, right?
No, I am anti tush push. I wanted it banned. This morning it sounded like it was heading that way. I mean, obviously it was really close. Jason Kelsey went out there and did a speech in front of the owners, like begging for it to be. And he doesn't even play anymore. It's so dumb. It's so dumb because he knows that's all the only way Jalen Hurts can friggin' do anything. I hate it. It's so. Yeah, is it because the Bills went like 0 for 5 on it in their last game? Sure, maybe that's why. But it is the dumbest play in sports. It should be banned. I can't wait till it's banned. And hopefully it doesn't take somebody getting seriously hurt before it is, because it's a dangerous play too for these quarterbacks. So
What's more
whatever.
dangerous, the sport of football or the tush push?
The tush push is a dangerous play in football. They're just they're letting them do whatever they want with these quarterbacks in these piles. They're grabbing their balls and twisting. There's a lot of dick twisting going on in that thing. I don't like it.
You
It
could
would
do it. You could do that at any time. Like there's nothing stopping you from doing that. It's not because you're tush
throwing your
pushing that you're the
quarterback
dick
right
twist.
into the dick twisting.
You're
Literally going, hey, go get your dick twisted.
You can
At
tear an
least-
ACL from kicking, like from being a
I-
punter. So everything is
I-
dangerous in football.
I understand, but why add danger to the game? It's a stupid play that only Philly's good at. Obviously, Josh crushed it all year, and then he sucked at it. So I don't want it. It's just so dumb. It's not even a real play. It's not. It takes away the fun of a 4th and 1 because it's 80% success rate. Like, no, I get it. I get the fight against it. It's like if you want it out of the game, then learn how to stop it. But it's not
So-
even. It's cheating.
But your argument mostly sounds like to me that you're like about the safety point. Is that what you're saying?
The safety point is the most, yes, the biggest aspect of it
Okay.
to me. But I do feel like there's other aspects that are dumb and stupid.
All right. But that came out as being kind of like not true. Like didn't it come out actually that Terry, like I saw something that Terry Pagula was actually the one that had floated the idea that Kelsey retired because of the tush push and like the effect that it was having on him. And there was nothing to back that up. I don't know the source of that or anything, but okay, that's floated out there. So I'm just
You'll
saying,
take any opportunity just to shit on Terry Pagula.
no, not at all. No, not at all. Here's the thing. If it's a safety thing, I understand the point. I get it. If you see something that suggests that it's not safe, all right. I just haven't seen that. So if that's the case, I think this would be reactionary to try and pull it out of. And so I think that's the interesting thing to me is that the vote was 22-10. So they needed 2 more votes. And it was probably, I mean, Diana Rossini reports this morning that it's likely to pass. And then it doesn't pass. So what does that tell you? That they probably got 2 more people off that position at the last minute. So,
But
or she
okay,
got
so-
bad information. I don't know.
yeah.
Either,
Well,
yeah, I mean, or she talked to the 20 teams that were ready to vote against it, and then she's like, "Oh yeah, this is looking good," and then just nobody else did. I don't know. Go ahead. Sorry.
Sure.
Well, no, I was going to say so to your point of not liking the tush push because it's dangerous and it doesn't have the success rate is not what you want it to be. But then calling out the onside kick is also terrible, and like all these new changes aren't good for the NFL.
Yeah, I mean
So, like everything in the last 5 years.
Yeah, I mean, it's all changes. I think I hate to sound this. I don't think a lot of people would argue this, though, that most of safety changes in sports lead to less entertaining plays. I mean, the kick, the kickoff changes and stuff are you don't see a successful onside kick anymore, and you probably won't see too many of them because of how it's set up for safety now. I mean, we could even make this about other fight, they'll try and eliminate fighting in hockey and like things like this. I mean, the dangerous stuff are the exciting plays. I get that, but Honestly, if the tush push was an exciting play, I would even be more inclined to be like, okay, maybe the safety issue isn't a thing, but it's not. It's a boring, non-exciting, almost always converting type of play that I feel like is just cheating. It hasn't been in the game in years. They use it to their advantage here now for whatever it has been. They've been one of the best teams in the league during that time. I don't know. It seems like an unfair advantage, but again, maybe that's because my quarterback went 0 for 4 with them.
And there's the real reason. It's not about safety. It's an unfair advantage. You heard it here, folks. We finally got to it.
Yeah, Louis thought cheerleading was too dangerous. That's why we have a jazz band now at half times for the Bills. So thanks. We'll see what else comes out in these fun NFL meetings. All right, so here's something fun I read. This is similar to the bear in the woods situation. Almost 50% of men think they could land a plane in an emergency. We have two men on this podcast, Louis and Ryan. Do you think you can land a plane in an emergency? On 3, say yes or no. 1, 2, 3.
Absolutely not. Yeah, 0 chance. 0 chance. So yeah, we are on the right side of 50%. Yeah. I think. I know I can't. I know I would be crying. I would already be looking for a real man on the plane. I'd be looking for the other 50%. Like, hey, 50% of you know what you're doing. Get over here because I don't. I'm ready to fucking cry. Yeah, no, I don't think I would be able to do that.
Yeah. Ryan, any takes on?
I mean, if that happens, I'm probably passed out before I even have the opportunity to figure out if I could do it. I would not be able to do it.
I dig it. All right, so here's something. I agree. I think there's too many buttons, and okay. So NFL players are now eligible to play flag football in the 2028 Olympics. NFL owners voted yesterday to permit players to participate in flag football in the 2028 Summer Olympics in Los Angeles. So, any thoughts on that? Any players you think that'll get on the team, and what does that mean for football?
I'll start. Sorry. Go ahead. No, go ahead. Right. We're getting a little bit of a lag from I think all three of us, so I apologize. Go ahead.
Sure. Yeah. I think it's good. More exposure to football players. Put them in, fun situations. I don't know. We for a long time, I feel like we argued over this like Pro Bowl thing. Like, oh, we have to force the players to go do this stuff. If they actually want to go and do something like this, why stop them? I mean, just at the threat of injury, right? And why pull a rule out of the rule book just because you think somebody's going to get injured, right? That's the whole point of this that we're talking about, right, Louis?
Dude, I can't wait.
No more contact.
It is going to be so much fun. The first 2-3 years, right? Like the Justin Jeffersons of the world, like he came out today and said he wants to play. Like the first 2-3 years, there is going to be straight up, like, Josh is going like 100%. Josh and Mahomes might fight about which one gets to be. I mean, they might both want to. I think these guys really want to go do this, be like the dream team of the NFL, go get their gold medals. Like it's gold medals. Like even NFL players got to be like, oh, I get a chance to get they are going to be chomping at the bit for these for like 12 years. And then it's going to be like basketball where like, then it's going to become more of a chore and you're going to see these guys like whatever. And you're going to end up seeing like the back end players of the league start playing. And then that's going to be when friggin' China comes out of nowhere, the new "Do you believe in miracles?" and pulls out a victory in like 20 years out of nowhere. And it's going to be the greatest upset of all time. Some little China man's going to be on top of another China man's shoulders coming off.
We don't use that word.
It's going to be so great. It's going to be so good. What are you giving me?
We don't use that word. We don't use that
China
word.
Man?
No.
China man?
Nope.
How is that not acceptable? Isn't it a man from China? Can I say that?
You can say yes, a person is from China, but not.
Okay.
Well, we just got 600 new viewers, and they're all from Florida. All right, so some exciting news, and actually Louis dropped this to our group chat today. Hard Knocks is going to be showing the Dear Buffalo Bills training camp premiering August 5th. HBO will show training camp. Any hot takes? I was a little nervous because I was thinking this was full season. I don't like attention drawn to us. I kind of want us to go back to 1:00 games, but I know what that means. It means we're not good if we're a 1:00 season game. But I don't like people knowing about us. I like being secretive and then going to the playoffs. So, what's your take on more publicity of the Buffalo Bills, Ryan?
I think yeah. I mean, first of all, I feel like it's a different type of Hard Knocks than would be like the off-season one with the Giants, right? Like that's the one where I feel like you can get in the most trouble, right? Where you're in the front office and like if you don't have enough control or editing, the Joe Shane thing. I mean, that's going to always come up. I mean, because that was just it looked like such a bad thing with the Barkley communication and how that thing unraveled and the quarterback discussion, everything. So this is a different time though. This is like, players are on the roster bubble. It's going to be a lot of like, heartwarming stories about like, these players, funny guys just like doing, like it'll be funny. Like you'll get to see an interesting side of the players. And I think it's going to be fun to watch. It's going to be, I mean, I'm obviously into it because I'm biased and I'm a Bills fan, but I think it's going to be a good thing for the team too. I'm not worried about like it distracting or being a bad thing.
Yeah, we have some likable players, and it's I mean, Keon Coleman last year alone with that yellow jacket just really warmed everyone's heart. So yeah, I'm excited to see it. Louis, hot takes?
Yeah, I think it's going to be great to watch our team be the one that's being talked about daily when the show comes out. So it's obviously been a huge hit for the NFL and HBO for years. I think we do have a lot of fun characters. I think like one of the underlining things that no one's talking about today is it really comes full circle on the changes that McDermott's made. Some of the things that I really hated about McDermott, because there's no doubt in my mind he had to sign off on this. Like, they don't just tell you that you have to do it. I think Bean probably was, Bean said last year, like, I'm way more happy that Shane's got to go through this than I do. Like, he didn't sound like he'd be interested in ever doing it. And he probably got approached by it this year and was like, if Sean's good with it, I'm fine with it. And I have a feeling that Sean was one that probably green lighted this. So I think it shows kind of just the evolution of him a little bit, because he's always been so old schooly, tight-lipped and all this, that I think it's pretty cool that he is allowing this to happen. And I think it'll be fun to see another side of him that, we have this impression of who he is as a person, but I think now over time, he's coming out of that a little bit, that shell. And I think it'll be even another fun way to see that him behind closed doors. So I'm excited for it for sure.
Yeah. I'm excited to see St. John Fisher freaking out right now that they have to make their dorms and residence halls more comfortable for everyone. So that will premiere in August. And just a reminder, if you are new to the podcast, at the end of the summer, early fall, Sean Avery, the hockey player, does have a romance hockey novel coming up. So we will be able to recap a cool sports show and a romance novel. So stay tuned, everyone. All right. So yeah, I guess we should talk some sports. So let's take a look at some Superflex startup. We're going to do 2 rounds of this. I want you guys to go back and forth and draft for me. But we will start with Louis first, then Ryan, and you're going to go back and forth 2 rounds. Okay.
And Rye, I know I didn't give you much background on what we're doing. Let's do it as like 3 wide, a traditional 12 team super flex, tight end premium, 3 wide receivers is kind of how I did it with a normal.
Start 1. tight end, but tight end premium, right?
Start one tight end premium, start 3 wide receivers, 2 tight ends, a flex and a super flex. I think that's kind of traditional what we are. I don't think that would switch too many things around here in this first round, but we'll go back and forth. We'll kind of argue as we go along, but I think the 101 in this format still has to be Josh Allen. So I'll go Josh Allen with the 101 for plenty of clear reasons. I don't think I have to explain that.
Happy birthday, King.
Cool. Well, I have a couple of options here. I don't think it's as clear, even as you've made it seem, that Josh is even the 101 here. I think a very real conversation can and should be had about Brock Bowers at that spot. I am not afraid to take him really at any cost. I just think he's one of those like unicorns that we're going to look back in 12 to 15 years from now and just be like, that guy was incredible. Like he might literally go down as the best tight end of all time. What he showed this first year was amazing. And he's just scratching the surface of the potential. And not to mention, I kind of like now that he's with Genty and he's got at least a competent quarterback, what he can do this year. So give me Brock Bowers at 102, and I'll get a quarterback later.
Yeah, I mean, you're not shocking me at all. I really fought with him and Allen for 1-1 here and kind of went with Allen for less shock value. But yeah, I'm totally okay with Bowers. Definitely going 1-2. With the 1-3, I would take Lamar. I do think here there's going to me, there's a couple more quarterbacks that go before any position players, but with 1-3, I'd go Lamar.
Yep. Makes my choice very easy then. 1-4 is Jaden Daniels. I don't think there's much debate or would be about that. I mean, you could have guys have preferences with other quarterbacks, but I think consensus, this is chalk right here.
Yep, I think so. And just going into 1-5 here, I will go with one more quarterback. And I would have a few position players actually before my next quarterback. I don't know if you do, but I'll go with Joe Burrow here. And at the 105, I think he's a tier break below Josh, Lamar, and Jaden, but I think he's in his own tier at quarterback right below that. So Joe Burrow, 1-5.
So right now I'm in a tough spot. So full disclosure, I didn't like prep as far as like, I'm going to do this or put this in my specific order. I'm like kind of playing off the board. I very well could go McBride here. I kind of think that might be my preference only because right now I don't want to take a quarterback. There's no other quarterback that I'm interested in taking here. I could go best receiver available. That would be my next choice. But I think because, again, the nexus between McBride and that next tier is so big. And the next tier are mostly guys that are kind of older, right? Like Kittle. And so I'm going to take McBride here. I'm going to go McBride at 106.
Totally okay with that. I have two guys ahead of him. The guy I have higher and take 1-7 would be Ja'Marr Chase. I think Chase is the best position player outside of the tight ends. I actually, like I just said, have him over McBride. But 1-7, I think Ja'Marr Chase, just especially in a PPR as I'm treating this, because most leagues are, we have to put him here.
Great pick. Of course, that was the first of the receivers I would consider. But second, and not very far behind, in my opinion, is Justin Jefferson. I don't care that he's 26 or almost 27. Just this guy is so talented and is elite, and he's one of the best receivers already. So yeah, I'm happy to take him here. 108, Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, I do think, no, I don't want to. I was going to go a quarterback here, and I just don't. I'll probably take him next if you don't. But Malik Neighbors is this pick for me at one. What are we at 1-9? Um, I just think the kid's got so much upside. I think Dart now is starting to kind of. Doesn't he just give off? I hate doing the vibe check, but Dart gives off the vibe check for like New York and making this work there. I really like what that might look like, and him and Neighbors could be really exciting for a really long time. I'm gonna go Neighbors at 1-9.
I'm interested. You mentioned a quarterback being the one you're considering. I'm not going to go quarterback here because I think there's another glaring positional player here that is also in that elite receiver category that you don't let in a late first round pick for this player seems wrong. CeeDee Lamb at 110 is I think a pretty nice value. So Ellie, I don't know if you've been writing these down. Have you?
No, I'm just watching the Knicks game. Sorry, guys. No.
I was going to recap it, but I don't want to get it wrong. It's Allen, Bowers,
Lamar, Jaden Daniels.
Yep.
Daniels. Then did we go Burrow? Yeah,
that was your pick.
I went
Yeah,
Burrow, and then you went McBride.
Yeah,
and then I went Chase. You went Jefferson. I went Neighbors, and you went just now Lamb. I don't have Lamb in my top 20. So that's going to be the first time I'm going to push back on you a little bit here. I like the addition. Yeah, I see what you're looking at me like. I think with the addition of Pickens takes some targets from him. I don't love Dak. They don't have a running game, so they're going to throw a bunch. Maybe I'm just trying to sell him more than I really have him at back there. I see a little bit of a dip in production coming.
Oh my gosh, dude! All right, we got to talk about this. So, all right, so you're saying, so just for the record, just everyone keep track for the next 12 picks. You're saying that you would rather have these next 12 guys over CeeDee Lamb.
I might be being hot takey here, but I will tell you when I will tell you when we're at the point where I would start considering them, and I will say it's not going to be this pick at 111 where I am going.
But just one second before you do, hold on. Before you do, just on CD, this is a guy. He's 26 years old. Okay, his finishes since 2020 and entering the league. 217 points, 232 points, 301 points, 403 points, and then 263 points because, I don't know, last year was off. He had injured, whatever. But, I mean, that's incredible pace, and he's 26. I mean, that's, to me, not ranking him in top 20. I get it. It might be a little bit higher than that, but still, I mean, that's elite.
And sometimes I do forget that he's 26. He feels like he's been in the league forever. 26, you forget that he's that age. I do think just my two biggest reasons are Pickens, I think, is a really good football player and who hasn't had a good opportunity. And I don't think Dak is that good. So there's a little bit of both those things. And I think Dak's on the decline. We'll see. I'll let you know when I would start considering him, but this would not be the pick. I do have to go Jalen Hurts here. I think most people would call us crazy for letting them go this far down. The tush push did get approved, so his value stays where it is. If the tush push didn't get approved, he'd go way down. But 111 Jalen Hurts.
All right. Well, you may laugh at me. You may not be surprised, but I'm gonna go with my boy. I'll call him my boy. Ashton Jeanty at the 112. I mean, if you're not ranking Ashton Jeanty as the RB1, just have a little bit more fun in your life. Come on, open up your mind to the possibility that this guy is the next Barry Sanders. And, I don't know. I'm very into the idea that he's going to be just like a lock it in asset. And I know it's a running back and there's still some good receivers out here. But I really think he's going to be a huge advantage for your team. So I'm taking him here at 112.
All right, let's blow through the second round for time's sakes here. So let's just do names. 2-1, I'm going Bijan Robinson.
All right. 2-2, I'm going. Ooh, this is tough. 2-2, I'm going Brian Thomas Jr.
Ooh, that's not a bad poll there. I'm not against that. I'm going Puka at 2-3.
Okay. I'm going Gibbs at 2-4.
I like that. This is where I go to my next quarterback, and it would be Caleb Williams. I know I'm probably irrationally high on Caleb, but that's where I have him right now. And I wouldn't justify taking any other position player over him, or obviously any quarterback. So Caleb Williams here.
All right. That's an interesting pick. I can understand the thought process.
That's probably where I would have taken Lamb. So we're talking probably 16 for me rather than 20.
Wow.
I would have probably,
right.
but I would have taken him after. I would have taken Lamb after Puka, Gibbs, BTJ, all those guys. But go ahead. Okay.
Just remind me to buy him from you in some of these leagues that we're in. Okay, just after the show. I'm gonna go. I don't know what it was. 2-6, right? I think we're at 2-6.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 6.
I'm gonna go Amon-Ra St. Brown. I know he's kind of been dinged lately. He last year going into the season, he was basically considered on par with CeeDee Lamb. And I know it's not a good barometer for you per se, but market value wise, and most people's minds. So I'm sorry, we were only giving names, and here I am talking.
Yes, not bad. I'm going. I think I go Drake London here. Drake London, yeah. There you go. I'm fine with that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
All right. I'm gonna go Nico Collins, even though I've sold him basically everywhere I possibly can.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised by that. Now it's about which quarterback is next. I think I am still Stroud here. I think Stroud's. I'm worried about that. I'd be scared, but I think I'm Stroud over Herbert, which would be the other guy I'm considering. Bo Nix, Drake May, but I got to go Stroud.
Okay.
All right.
110 or 210.
Yeah.
That was okay. 210.
Three more.
All right. I'm gonna do something bold here, and it is pretty probably hot takey. I'm gonna go Colson Loveland here, and just take a huge swing on spot and draft capital.
Okay. I don't hate it. I kind of hate it, but I won't be. I won't talk about it too much. Marvin Harrison Jr. I'm going to still buy the hype. Rough year, obviously rough rookie season. I'll still buy the hype and take him at 211.
Okay.
Last pick.
I'm going to go Ladd McConkey. He could be in the first round next year if we did this.
Yep. I'm totally fine with that.
All right. That was painful for no one. So 2 rounds.
How's the next game going?
Audience, they were going to do 3. They were going to do 3 rounds. So our next segment is Who's the Idiot? This is where I ask 3 questions and I have to pick the worst answer, thus labeling the person the biggest idiot. All right, so we're going to give you 3 questions. First question is, which Cleveland quarterback takes the most snaps this year? Ryan, you go first.
I love how Ellie was like, that was horrible. All right, now on to what Cleveland quarterback is going to start this year, as if that's going to be any better. Are we wearing a Browns hat there, Lou? What is that? Is that a Browns hat?
No,
It's a Buffalo Bandits hat,
Ryan.
brother.
Let's go
Oh, I'm
Bears.
sorry. It's so far away.
In honor of my friend here, who's one win away from her third championship ring, might have to pawn him soon to help me find a job, but we're gonna get there.
We'll get there.
Yep. All right. So my pick for this is going to be Dylan Gabriel, and I think it might be a surprise pick because he's not the favorite right now. But here's how I'm breaking this down. Joe Flacco, I think, is the presumptive like incumbent. You're going to get the first crack at this, but of the rest of the guys on the roster, Gabriel is the one that I think the front office and the coaching staff identified as like the guy that they wanted. And then they rolled it, and like they weren't planning to have Shedeur on the team. So, okay, unless he comes in and completely blows everything out of the water, that's possible. And we could have all been wrong about him. And Mel Kiper Jr. could have been the only one right on how ridiculous of a slide it was. But I think it's going to be Gabriel. I think they're going to want to give him a look this year. And so I think he starts like 8 to 10 games.
They said Kenny Pickett and him were going to split the first reps in OTAs. And that's my pick. My pick is Kenny Pickett. And, I've been on the Kenny Pickett train all off season. I wanted him to be reignited with his old offensive coordinator, and the Saints still might. I still would not be shocked. They have nobody there. Would not be shocked if Pickett doesn't win doesn't look like he's going to win the starting job, or they want to go with Gabriel, or that quarterback room is obviously full, and Pickett goes over to the Saints and then starts there. Still might happen. But I will say that if all four guys are there, Kenny Pickett will take the most snaps because he'll win the job out of the OTAs, and then he'll be just good enough to have like a Pittsburgh Steelers 9-8 type of season.
This is just a guy who has too many Pickett bags coping. That's what's going on right here.
It is not. I have no Pickett bags. This is just me. It's been a hot take all off season. I'm a Kenny Pickett guy, and I'm here to watch his revival.
Yeah. So I'm going to say I think that Kenny Pickett will be in the number 1 spot this year, followed by Gabriel and then Shedeur. So I'm going that Louis is not the idiot. Ryan, you are. Also, Ryan, if you want to sway a vote, put on some of your Bandits gear. You've been friends with me now for years. So could you go grab your hat? Is it next to you? Hello?
Yeah, it's right.
Hello.
Wait.
I couldn't reach it.
That's a great pick. I mean, I like the idea, and also the Joe Flacco thing is, all right. So, question number 2: if you could switch the landing spot of one rookie you like, who would it be? Where would they go, and why? Let's Ryan go again, because Ryan, you did have a good start. Let's go.
I know. I feel like I have the burden of proof, as we lawyers like to call it. So I'm gonna go with, this is like the least sexy pick of all time. So I mean, I'm probably gonna get ousted pretty quick here. But all right, everybody, get ready for my worst landing spot. Was Damian Martinez in Seattle?
Is he a UFC fighter?
No, he is not. He is almost an undrafted free agent, but he was a 7th round pick. So here's a couple things. It's not great that he was a 7th round pick. But it is kind of great that he's drafted by Seattle, who I think actually does know ball when it comes to drafting running backs. Ken Walker, pretty good. Charbonnet, I think, is really underrated. And I don't know. All right, it looks like a bad situation right now, and I would prefer him to have both drafted earlier and to a situation that he wouldn't have so much logjam in front of him. But all right, Walker or Charbonnet tears their ACL. I mean, are you not immediately interested in Damian Martinez? I mean, I would be, because it's next guy up at this position, and I was into him, for draft hype. He did really well at the Senior Bowl. He had good measurables. So I'm still kind of in on him, but it's not the greatest landing spot for production. And like, he could also be a guy that just is like, oh yeah, remember we talked about Damian Martinez that one time, and then we never ever speak about him again. It's possible.
For a lawyer, you are horrible at this. You didn't even say where you would rather have him go, or
That's
you
not what
were
the
just.
question
But
was.
that was exactly the question. Who would it
Doesn't
be?
need to
Where
bring
would
up
they go?
Arroyo
And
or
why?
anything. Yeah, it's okay.
And
Like,
where would
where-
I rather have him go? All right, I'll give you an
Yeah,
answer right now,
yeah.
off the cuff. It's Cincinnati, because they don't have an RB2, and I think he could end up being better than Chase Brown. How about that? I didn't even need any time to prep. Okay, I know that. Yeah, that's the kind of off the cuff stuff. Off the cuff stuff you get. So
Confidence.
Let the record show he didn't even know the question.
I don't think that's lawyer term. Your Honor, let the record show
Let the record show. I've been watching a lot of law movies lately. I think that's going to be my next career.
Read.
Speaking of the burden of proof, I'm going Luther Burden, and I think he was one of my favorite wide receiver prospects. Hated the landing spot. Obviously, he could still grow and still do great in that offense if Caleb works out the way that we are. I think right now, this year specifically, there's just too many mouths to feed. I would have loved for him to go to the Chargers. Trey Harris, I wasn't a big fan of Trey Harris coming out of college. So I would have loved Burden to go there. Harris be the guy that went to Chicago. I probably would have liked both players more in that scenario, to be perfectly honest. But yeah, I just think Burden to the moon possibly, and that might at least be held back a couple years in Chicago. So much would rather have him go to the Chargers.
Judge Brady, may I have a rebuttal, please?
Well, I want to say this: if you are so inclined to, but
I know I'm already winning this round, but I thought I'd really drive home the point.
All right, yes, Ryan, you can.
All right, so you would rather have Luther Burden go from Ben Johnson's hand selection in the second round in a Chicago offense with a quarterback you just took in the second round of a startup tight end premium superflex draft. Instead, you want him to go to a run-heavy offense in LA behind Ladd McConkey?
Shut up, Brian. Let the record show that. Shut up, Brian.
I want to say I like, because I will say great arguments both of you, but I hate to be like one person wins this round, one person wins this round. But I have this like little crush on Seattle this year, because I think with Milroe, I think I love Sam Darnold. I know everyone just kind of, now that he's not on the Vikings, but I'm excited to watch this team. And like, I don't know, there's something very interesting. I like a rebuild that has potential and that actually has players. Like, we've been there as Bills fans. So I'm going to say I like the Damian Martinez. He's only 21. He has a lot of potential. And it's kind of crazy that he was seventh in that. So I'm going Luther. What a cool name for a bad guy, but for a football player. So I am going Ryan on this round. I think I don't know. I think Seattle. Any take on Seattle this year, guys? Because I'm telling you, I think they're stacked. I think
you go every way to not say one of us is an idiot, which I love you for. That's you're such a sweetheart. But you were like, I'm gonna just, you were like, Louis not the idiot last round. You're like,
all right, now you just wait for this. Just wait for this
you
question I'm going to ask you now, and you're going to be like, "Oh, Allie's the idiot." Okay, all right. So I don't know if you guys follow the juicy gossip, but there was a rumor that Aaron Hernandez used to masturbate in team meetings, because just all around great guy. It seems like he was, So Rob Gronkowski recently was addressed that rumor, and he said, do I do my impression of it? No, I won't do my impression of That's a possibility. Okay, no.
If I can't say China Man, you can't do that. I'm pretty sure.
There's a possibility that he may or may not have seen it live, and he said he's not going to confirm or deny it, which clearly means yes, he saw it live. And so I'm trying to figure out what I want to ask about this topic because one, ew, but why doesn't anyone tell him to? Why didn't anyone tell him to stop? Because he's no longer with us. But I mean, I know the rooms are dark. They're watching film. There's a bunch of people in there, and I don't kink shame, but how messed up was that team? Again, Deflategate, we've got all the rings, but how messed up was that team that they are letting Aaron Hernandez masturbate while they're watching film or just Belichick talking? Who wants to go first? Should we give this one Ryan? No, Louis. I feel like this is a juicy topic for you.
Who wouldn't get excited listening to Bill Belichick talk, huh? I mean, sometimes the urge just takes over. Do we know? I heard the interview, so I know exactly what you're talking about. I listened to. I mean, he legitimately, because I won't confirm or deny, but I may or may not have seen it live. So I'm very Gronk is so dumb he can't even lie, right? He not my cup of tea to do that in front of a bunch of dudes. But do we know was there a video playing? Maybe he was on his phone getting nudie texts from a hot girl. If he was just like, hey guys, look at this, that's a little weird, but obviously he was into some weird shit.
Yeah. Well, is he watching a good O-line? What tape is he watching, Louis, that he is?
Yeah, it's just a good O-line. I wonder if, obviously it came out after that, and it seemed like a lot of people were aware that he was attracted to the same sex. I wonder if they knew that at the time, because I would say a locker room full of NFL players would not be okay with that because of how they are. And so it's a very weird thing. It's funny that it just came up on a random podcast with Gronkowski 10 years after his death, but sure. Weird. Say that.
Or to quote Rob Gronkowski, not okay with NFL players. Ryan, what's your take?
All right. Well, you asked at one point. You said how could this possibly happen? And I feel like this is the textbook definition of sociopathic behavior, right? They're just completely out of their mind, no regard, and maybe even gets a thrill off of the fact that it's completely inappropriate, or I don't know. But in any event, what if we don't know? All right, let's say, what if Belichick back then was actually dating Jordan, whatever her last name is, and she was the one that was controlling the videos that they were playing that day? I don't know. Is it it's possible.
She would have been 9 then?
Oh, right. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, he's pretty. All right. Well, then we have a whole nother story. Yeah, I mean, it's it's very strange. Thank you, I guess, to Gronk for sharing this with the world, and now that we're talking about this on the podcast, so all right, I could have probably gone the rest of my life not knowing this. But I nevertheless appreciate it.
Ryan, you had me the whole time until you forgot that Belichick's girlfriend is 24. So,
say it. You have to say it.
I always feel so bad saying this. Ryan, you're this week's idiot.
Right.
Oh, yeah, that hurt her. That hurt her. It hurt.
I know, it's funny that it hurts Allie more than either Louis or me. So that's the best part of it.
It's so
the uncomfortableness.
All right. So now that I feel bad and won't be able to sleep and my gut health is ruined, um, we are drafting the best Jeremys. We were going to have a guest on whose name is Jeremy, but due to some family matters, he is not with us tonight. So we're still going to draft best Jeremy because we adore the Jeremy that was going to be on. So, Louis, will you
I
find
will
a draft
do
order?
the order. Yes. Sorry.
I will struggle on this.
Ellie, number 1. Louis, number 2. Ryan, number 3.
Oh wow. Guess
So
fuck me, huh?
yeah, just fuck you.
Don't
So-
worry. I just Googled the top 4 Jeremys. No. Number one pick, I'm very excited because I told the guys there's like this is not a strong one for me. But Jeremy by Pearl Jam is my number 1 Jeremy.
I was definitely gonna pick that.
There you
That's it. That's a good one. I legit had the song as my 101 or 12. That's
Oh,
great.
okay.
You know what I wanted to do today? So, and I know you're a music buff, so you could try with me. At some point, it just I put it right on my list right away. No thought process on it. But I really don't know what the song's about. And I know like he spoke in class today, but what was wrong with him that he didn't speak in class? Do you know?
Yeah, wasn't he like a school shooter?
Oh, that's even weirder. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm like masturbation and school shooting. All right. I'll look at it after the class. I thought you might have known or after the show. I thought you
Yeah,
might have
it
known.
was no, it was actually much darker than that. It was wow, we are really gonna I'm sorry, audience. I will say it in it's a sad story, but it was a story that came from a kid in Texas in the early 90s, and he was 15 and he unalived himself in front of his classmates.
I've heard that now.
Yeah,
that you
so,
said that out loud. I've heard it. I
So it's a
remember
sad song, but a fun song to sing along to.
Yeah, like that. But that's I remember hearing that story because I know like it's one of those songs where like everyone could just sing it and they're like, oh no, this is just actually really sad.
Yeah.
All right, with the 1-2, then I'm gonna go Ron Jeremy. Because I had to, right? Like that had to be a Louis G pick, and I'm going Ron Jeremy with the 1-2. That's up to you now, right?
That's a great pick. I'm also going to go with like a quintessential Ryan pick here because this is, it counts. It counts. It's not, I mean, it's his character's name in this movie, but I mean, Jeremy Gray, who is, do you guys know who Jeremy Gray is?
Yeah. Wedding Crashers. Yeah, for sure.
So
that's
Vince
a great one.
Vaughn's character in Wedding Crashers. So
yeah, that's good.
In my pursuit to find a Kevin James character who was named Jeremy at some point, I did not find that, but I did find Jeremy Gray. So I'll take him with 101, or my first pick, I guess. My next pick, I think I'm going to save the one guy because I'll probably be able to get him after, but I'm going to go Jeremy Allen White as the next pick. Yeah, he's a great actor. And yeah.
All right. That's good. Back up to me. I need to go Jeremy Piven here because I'll be really mad if I don't get him. He absolutely crushes so many comedic roles, but I mean, his role as Ari is just Ari Gold in Entourage is just one of my favorite all-time characters. And I would be so upset if I didn't get him. I almost took him in the first round. Very happy to get Jeremy Piven here.
Dude, now that I realize, now that I just took Jeremy Allen White over him, I would trade Jeremy Allen White and something to get Jeremy Piven. I instant regret on that pick. So nice job.
I like that.
He's supposed to be a real jerk in real life, so you're really not missing out. But those are all great picks. My pick number 2 is Jeremy Sisto, who was Law and Order. He was Culpo, which is or Lupo. Great. He was, but anyway, he's really. I like him. Okay, but and then my next pick that I didn't just Google Is Jeremy Strong, right? From
That's good.
Jeremy, by the way,
Succession.
Jeremy Sisto is from 6 Feet Under and Law and Order, but
Yeah.
Jeremy Strong, who is from the great
Succession.
HBO show
Succession.
Succession, and super weird, and I like him, and 46 years old. There you
I know I like 46. That's too young. I'm gonna go with Linsanity here, Jeremy Lin. For about 4 weeks, Jeremy Lin was the coolest person in the world and was so much fun and it was probably the most tuned in I've been to the NBA in years because of Linsanity. It was really cool. It also allowed me to say that word 5 times earlier because I was his biggest fan. So that makes it so much it makes it better. Jeremy Lin with my third pick. Ryan, your last two.
Louis, I'm absolutely voting for you just based on those last 2 picks alone. I mean, I had 5 names on my list, and 4 of them are gone. So I'm scraping down at the bottom of the barrel, and you know that's true when you're drafting Jeremy Roenick. I mean, I hated Jeremy Roenick growing up, but I mean, he was a good hockey player. I'll give him that, and he was a good analyst before a lot of what was it? He was also kind of. I don't know what was going on with him, doesn't matter. Jeremy Roenick's on my team. I'm not going to win this week.
Yeah.
And then after that, I'm going to go with this is really a stretch. Jeremy, I think is how you I don't think it's Jeremiah. I think it's Jeremy. You pronounce it. The guy that's saying birthday sex.
Oh, I think it's Jeremiah, isn't it?
No, it's Jeremih.
I know exactly who you're talking about.
Jeremiah.
I know
it counts.
Yeah,
it counts. It's kind of funny, and
I'll take it. We'll take it. Good answer.
I don't have any other Jeremy, so either I forfeit or you let me take it. So
we'll keep it. We're good.
I feel like you're gonna hate me on this one. I'm going Jeremy Shockey with the 4th pick. What a great tight end. Fun, made tight ends fun again. Jeremy Shockey.
I'm the closer right now, right?
Yep, you're the closer.
I could obviously pick Jeremy Renner, but I'm not. I'm going to pick for all any of the musical theater lovers out there who are listening to our podcast. One of the most weird classic musicals out there, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, the little boy Jeremy Potts. What a weird movie. If you've ever need to see a film that you're like, is this a fever? And the answer is it's the weirdest movie. Please watch it. It's insane. Jeremy Pitts.
Sounds like one I should watch on mushrooms. Only I know Ryan didn't have much of a list. I don't know if you have any. Renner, you said obviously is good.
Jeremy Irons is the other one.
Jeremy Irons. Jeremy Miller played Ben Seaver in Growing Pains. Jeremy Macklin, football player. Jeremy Spencer, I wanted to pick only to tell the story, but he was like the Fleetwood Mac guitarist that left after band after 7 years and joined the Children of God. And he's still in it. He was original member guitarist of Fleetwood Mac with them the first 7 years, and then just one day I'm joining the Children of God, and I think he's still in the cult. So I call it a cult. I don't know, maybe it's not, but I feel like it is.
Alleged cult. Those are all great, and I love your little music history course. That was good. Very tough this week, the Jeremys. If you have any suggestions of a Jeremy we should have picked, let us know. But I'm sure there's some very obvious ones that we didn't see. But thank you, everyone, for listening. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. We are on YouTube and all the other good platforms. This is Analytics are for the nerds, and we will see you soon.